Did you know that you can create your own ETF full of other ETFs, essentially creating an ETFception? Well, the good news is that you can do that by using M1 Finance. It's a newer platform that allows you to create a pie. You can put in whatever stocks you want and create your own ETF, essentially. Or if you don't know what ETF is, it's an exchange traded fund. So you can create a basket, or in this case, a pie of stocks that you want to track together. And you can see down here, I've got two pies that I've made that are currently using for my investments. If you haven't started with M1 Finance before, there's a link down below where you can use it and you'll get $50 for free once you sign up and deposit a certain amount of money. I believe it's about $100. So that's a 50% ROI right off the bat. So I suggest doing that. But also, one of the great things, so I just started using M1 Finance you can see about 6 months ago in July of 2021. That's when I started. And over time, I've grown it and I've added more money and just let it slowly grow. My total gain is 4.5, just over 4%. Not super great, but it's good enough. This is my account that I'm using kind of as an UTMA, but not necessarily for my kids, but it's for them, but not for them, if you kind of get what I'm saying. You can see I've got my two pies down here. So when you start M1 Finance, it'll ask you to fill out all the information to get signed up. But when you're done with that, you will come back and create your own pie. That's why you can see my first pie here. So let's click on mine. So I've got a couple ETFs inside of my ETF that I'm creating. And then I've got some higher dividend ETFs that I'm using to help with cash flow in this ETF, in this portfolio. Now, SCHD pays a dividend, VTI pays a dividend, but they pay quarterly. So does QQQX. That's a NASDAQ 100 higher dividend paying ETF. And then the QILD and newbie, which are pretty common monthly dividend stocks, they are also included and they help with the cash flow that I'm looking for. So that's my first one, but also I created a S&P 500. I looked through and found the 10 stocks that I thought that had continually grown and also had a dividend that they were paying out. So I've invested in 10 different stocks that do all of that, except for Exxon Mobil. They haven't been growing a ton lately, but they've been a consistent dividend payout, which is what I'm looking for, along with all these other guys in here. I'll probably do another video going in more into depth of all of these. This is just a general overview of, hey, you can create your own ETF and make sure that there's stocks in there that you want and kind of weigh them how you would like. Because that's one of the issues that I think with other ETFs, like in just a general S&P 500, that they weigh bigger capital stocks a lot higher than normal stocks that aren't growing as fast, but are just, I feel, as equally good. They just don't have such a big market cap, so they're not weighted as high in the S&P 500, and you miss out on some growth. So that's what you can do with your own ETF, creating your own within your own pies in M1 Finance. One of the really great things about M1 Finance as well is that once you have over $5,000 in your portfolio, you're allowed it opens up a new credit line for you, borrowing against your assets. So I think this is a great thing, you don't need to apply for any loans. You can borrow up to 35% of your portfolio value. If you want, you can go up into the borrow tab, and once you have over $5,000 in there, you can open up a second line or another line of credit. And it's great. You can use it as like margin to trade on in your account if you want. You can use it as just a normal credit line. You can pull it out and pay off other higher credit with your own credit line, which I think is great. I've used that for just a little loan that I took out that was like 9% interest, and I had like $1,500 left, and I took out my loan on here for 2% and worked that out, and it's arbitraging interest rates, I guess, and it works out great. So that's some of the positives. And then you can set up so that there's an auto invest, so you can link your bank account and then have it do a weekly or monthly deposit, and it will auto invest for you. You don't have to worry about it, and that's one of the great things about M1 Finance, is that it does you can automate it, so you don't even have to worry about it. It trades once a day normally, but if you have M1 Plus, you can have 2 trading windows. And so this is not for you if you're going to do options, or if you're a day trader. This is not the right platform for you. This is great for people who are investing long term, want to set it up, let it run, let it do its own thing, and it will continue to do that as long as you have it set up correctly, which is not hard. You can set it up quickly. I'll do another video on that, like a walkthrough of how to do this. If you have any questions, or if you've got this far, please do like the video. Go ahead and subscribe. I would appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments. And also, if you have any questions you want that are urgent, you can send them to my email. That is also down in the description. And that's it for this video. Until the next one, take care of yourselves.